Welcome to another quick bite video from Insurance Domain Training Center. In this video, we tackle a critical industry challenge: why P&C insurance AI projects fail. While AI is a strategic priority for many insurers, successful adoption is often sabotaged by an underestimated reality. AI success is fundamentally a data transformation initiative, not just a technology experiment. We will explore how decades of legacy debt and fragmented data silos create a dangerous trap. When AI consumes inconsistent historical data, it doesn't just learn, it amplifies historical biases and operational errors into enterprise-scale failures. Join us as we break down the most severe data challenges facing P&C carriers today and the strategic options available to bridge the data divide and ensure AI success.
Welcome to this explainer on how to ensure data integration and quality for P&C insurance AI projects. Look, if you're a P&C insurance executive, artificial intelligence is undoubtedly sitting right at the very top of your strategic agenda right now, and for good reason. Whether we're talking about underwriting automation, predictive pricing, or deploying chatbots for customer service, the promise of AI is just massive. But before we all get swept away by the hype of algorithms and large language models, we've got to address a really crucial foundational dependency. So today, we're going to explore exactly why the success of your AI initiatives rests entirely on the quality and integration of your foundational data. All right, let's just hit the hard truth right out of the gate, something a lot of insurers tend to underestimate. AI systems are not magic. They literally learn from your existing enterprise data. So, if that underlying data is fragmented, inconsistent, or just poorly governed, your AI outcomes are going to be completely unreliable. You see, successful AI adoption in general insurance isn't just some cool IT experiment. It is fundamentally a data transformation initiative.
To guide our discussion today, here is our roadmap. We're going to cover the AI data reality, then we'll wade into the legacy data swamp, look at how AI actually amplifies mistakes at scale, outline some strategic data solutions, and finally, wrap things up with a practical AI readiness framework.
Let's jump right into part one, the AI data reality, and how we move beyond just running technology experiments. Now, unlike those shiny greenfield digital startups, established P&C carriers operate with decades-old legacy systems. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're likely dealing with a highly heterogeneous data ecosystem. We're talking multiple policy administration systems, siloed claims management tools, disparate underwriting workbenches, billing systems, broker platforms, legacy mainframes, the whole shebang. And this fragmentation, well, it's usually the result of years of accumulated technical debt, siloed lines of business, like keeping workers' comp totally separate from commercial auto, and of course, historical mergers and acquisitions. Ultimately, this means the exact same insured person, location, or claim could exist in multiple systems with entirely different data structures.
Which brings us right to part two, the legacy data swamp, and specifically why this legacy P&C data just plain fails AI. Let's look at some tangible examples here.
Think about how a seemingly tiny inconsistency can create massive ripples across your organization. Take a typical insured company. Let's say they're entered as ABC Manufacturing Inc. in your legacy PAS, ABC MFG in your claims system, and ABC Manufacturing LLC from a broker upload. To a human underwriter, boom, it's obviously the exact same entity. But to an AI model, no way. These are treated as completely separate insurance. The impact here is huge. Your customer risk profiling is suddenly incorrect, your fraud indicators get duplicated, and your loss ratio calculations become highly inaccurate.
And man, this confusion just compounds when we get into coverage coding. Let's say System A uses GL, System B uses general liability, and your data warehouse uses CGL. Again, any human knows exactly what this means. But AI models trained on this kind of inconsistent coding, they're going to misclassify policies. And that leads directly to faulty predictive analytics, really poor reserving insights, and ultimately, totally incorrect underwriting recommendations.
The problem gets even deeper when we look at poor geospatial standardization. Just look at state values. You've got California, CA, and CALIF. When addresses, state codes, or peril descriptions vary like this, it creates profound confusion for the AI model. If your location addresses are poorly standardized, your entire geospatial analysis falls apart. That means your catastrophe exposure aggregation, which is absolutely crucial for risk management, becomes completely unreliable.
All right, let's move on to part three, amplifying mistakes at scale. We've all heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out, right? Well, when it comes to AI, it's really more like garbage amplify. Here's the real kicker. how AI interacts with this bad data compared to your old legacy systems. Traditional reporting actually tolerates imperfect data fairly well. And why's that? Because it relies on human manual interpretation. A human looks at it, spots the error, and adjusts. Machine learning behaves entirely differently. It detects patterns automatically based on statistical consistency. So if your historical data is full of unstructured workarounds or fundamental errors, the AI doesn't correct them. It learns them, and worse, it replicates them at enterprise scale.
Which leads us to a pretty critical question. What exactly happens when AI slams into this unstructured and inconsistent legacy data out in the real world? Let's take a look at a couple of actual case studies from the P&C industry. Consider this AI fraud scoring implementation for bodily injury claims that ultimately failed. Why did it fail? Well, the historical claims data was packed with heavily inconsistent litigation indicators. It turned out adjusters were relying on free text notes instead of using structured Special Investigative Unit, or SIU, tags. Because the AI just couldn't reliably parse those messy, unstructured adjuster notes, the model churned out completely unreliable predictions. This resulted in a massive false positive rate, where perfectly legitimate claimants were being incorrectly flagged for fraud. Or take a commercial property insurer who tried to implement predictive pricing. Their property construction types were typed so inconsistently across their systems. Sometimes it was frame, sometimes wood, sometimes timber. Because they didn't have a centralized underwriting taxonomy in place, the risk scoring was entirely inaccurate, which led to incorrect premium indications. And similarly, insurers who've attempted AI-based catastrophe accumulation analysis have found that incomplete zip code level geocoding completely distorts their hurricane exposure aggregations. It's a mess.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. This brings us to part 4, strategic data solutions. We've seen the problem, so now let's explore the roadmap to AI success and talk about how we actually fix this.
First things first, you've got to establish strict insurance-specific data governance. Without enterprise governance, there is no single authority ensuring consistency across your claims, underwriting, and actuarial departments. You've got to assign data ownership, define quality KPIs, and build an enterprise insurance data dictionary. For example, if one system uses fire loss and another uses fire damage, your governance rules literally have to standardize them into a single common peril taxonomy before the AI ever even touches that data. Next up, insurers need to build a canonical, unified insurance data model. Think of this as the translation layer between your legacy systems and your AI platforms. When you couple this with master data management, or MDM, you can actually create a single source of truth. By utilizing entity resolution and fuzzy matching, you can link named insured, policyholder, and customer name across underwriting, billing, and claim systems. This way, the AI finally understands it's looking at one single enterprise entity.
Furthermore, we absolutely have to improve data quality controls right at the source. This means implementing mandatory fields and drop-down validations right at the first notice of loss stage, so your adjusters aren't just typing in 3 text peril descriptions. And look, because so much insurance data is locked away in ACORD forms, loss runs, and PDFs, you really must invest in document intelligence. By using optical character recognition and natural language processing, AI can extract litigation indicators or repair estimates from unstructured PDFs, meaning you get the insights without turning your pristine data lake into a murky data swamp.
Let's bring it all home with Part 5, the AI Readiness Framework. This is a practical path forward for your organization. Now, trying to boil the ocean with a massive, enterprise-wide overhaul is rarely effective. Instead, we highly recommend a pragmatic 5-phase approach. Phase 1 is data assessment. This is where you identify critical AI use cases and evaluate how complete your source systems are. Phase 2 is data standardization, where you actually create those enterprise taxonomies we just talked about. Phase 3 is integration modernization, focusing heavily on your APIs and data pipelines. Phase 4 implements governance and controls, prioritizing data stewardship and ongoing quality monitoring. And finally, Phase 5 is AI model readiness, which involves carefully curating your training datasets and validating them for accuracy and consistency.
And hey, it is absolutely vital to remember that poor data quality in AI is not just an IT headache. It creates massive regulatory and compliance risks for the business. Inaccurate data feeding your AI can lead to flawed underwriting decisions, incorrect reserving, intense regulatory scrutiny, and severe reputational damage, especially in highly regulated areas like workers' compensation or personal auto pricing.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to consider. Are you building sustainable AI capabilities, or are you literally just automating your legacy debt? For P&C insurance companies,
AI's success depends far more on data maturity than it does on fancy algorithms. To get reliable underwriting insights and accurate fraud detection, you must treat your AI initiatives as true enterprise data transformation programs. Start with your foundations, clean up your policy data, standardize your taxonomies, and strictly govern your architecture. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I really hope this helps you rethink the foundations of your own AI strategy moving forward.
Thank you for watching the Quick Bite series from www.insured.com. Please like and subscribe to our videos for you to get notification when we upload new videos.